All right, this one's for the little Lego and the big Legos. Um, they are both super similar. We'll start with the tiny Lego first. You draw it, you make this little shape. You're going to center a little circle on the top. All the measurements are multiples of this thing called a Lego unit, and that's why all Legos fit together. I can find the center real quick by drawing a line across it, and the center of that line is the center of the circle. I'm making sure my radius is the correct measurement. I delete all this extra stuff, and then I push it up. The basic Lego unit, 1.6 millimeters. So there's the top piece. To make the hole in the bottom, I'm going to offset, use an offset tool, and then push it up the appropriate distance. And then you have a 1x1 Lego. You can double check. When I turn it X-ray, you see the button on the top fits perfectly between. It's right at the line of the walls that are on the inside. So this little button would fit inside of another piece perfectly. Turn those off. Okay, the 2x1 Lego is the same deal. It's just a little bit bigger. So it's the same size, it's exactly twice as big. You can measure and find the center and draw lines. However you want to do it, it really doesn't matter. I like this way because it seems to be the quickest. Delete a few extra lines you don't need. All right, you got the buttons on top. On the bottom, same thing. It's going to be a rectangle. Except on this one, on the inside, there's this other little circle. It's going to be hanging down in the middle. So it looks like that. And again, when I look from above, that circle on the inside is perfectly centered between those two on the top. And then my two on the top go right to the edge of the box on the inside, so they'll fit inside real nice. Those are the two small ones. I'll do the bigger ones right next to it. So again, it's pretty much the same deal. This one is 2x2. For this one, I'm going to use this because it's easier. Well, there's probably some pretty cool way of finding the centers of these without. And now I got these points here where I can I'll just draw them. You can also move them with the move tool and just copy and paste a bunch of times. And when you move them up, if you move one right, you can move this up. And I haven't clicked again, but I'll go over here. And you see I use this as an endpoint, and it will make that one exactly as tall as my first one. So as long as I make the first one right, the second one will come out fine. All right, on the bottom of this, again, the walls are always the same thickness. Every Lego, it's always the same thickness of the walls. This one in the center, there's going to be two circles, an inner and an outer. And most of these things are multiples of a Lego unit except the outer. The outer is actually the square root of the distance between two edges, so it's not a happy number. But you can use a calculator and figure out what half of that is for the radius. All right, back to there we go. That looks right. And then for this inner portion, you're going to pull up that ring in the middle. And here, I could pull it up, I could type it in, or because I want it the same distance as this edge, I can click, and now it's exactly the same distance. Double checking, making sure it's right. If I view, my circle is perfectly centered between the 4 around the outside. Just touching, and these 4 on the outside, they go right up to the edge of that hole in the background, right here, and all 4 are nicely centered. And then the biggest one is basically just 2 of these kind of tagged together. We'll do that one real quick and be done. Again, they're all Legos, so they're all going to go up the same distance. They have the same, use different tape measure lines. Again, they all get pushed up, and I'm going to use this one as a guide so I don't have to keep typing. You do the same thing when you're drawing the circles. It's just a little harder to line them up just right. Alright, and then you get the same offset, 1 Lego unit. And then inside, get the center line, and then exactly halfway between those. I don't remember what this is, so I can look at a blueprint. Oh, it's 808. There we go, and there's all my centers. Alright, and again, I just want to pull those ring parts up. We'll line them up with this outside edge. But you can always type in the measurement. I'm going to line them up just so they're all right to the edge. And again, if I turn it to, I'm going to delete these lines I drew. And if I go to view the face style, each one of those circles is perfectly centered between the other 4. And my rings are right up to the edge. Or the dots on top are right at the edges of the box in the background. And that's it. There's small Lego. This is a 1x1, a 2x1, a 2x2, and a 4x2. And these are all the Lego projects.